y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is going to be a review on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion coming to us from Osaka-jo Hall. We're just a couple of hours removed from the show. Took a little nap afterwards, so let's jump into it and go right into our review. Our first match of the night is for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. We have El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, I always mispronounce his name, so I probably did there, versus Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo. I thought this was a good opener. I liked it. I thought it was a solid match. I kind of thought Roppongi 3K was going to win. I kind of believe that they're the team that they want to push going forward. Maybe with the way Sho acted in the, or not acted, but wrestled in the Best of the Super Juniors, maybe they're going to break them up because Sho seemed to be the star in that. But I thought they would go with Roppongi 3K. I was a little bit surprised. El Desperado and Kanemaru opened up and won, representing Suzuki-gun. I liked it. It was a good match to open it. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. Solid opener, got your attention right away, got you excited, got you ready to go for the rest of the show. Now our next match is a tag match. We have Juice Robinson and David Finlay representing Taguchi Japan versus Jay White and Yoshihashi representing Chaos. This is kind of the matches that New Japan puts early in their card, almost filler matches, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it. There's a couple, for what it was, I thought it was a good match. There's some guys in the match I don't like. Juice, I like. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's a good character. David Finlay, he's growing on me. Jay White, I don't believe him as Switchblade. He doesn't, and this is going to sound weird, but with his face and having the baby face, he doesn't look like somebody that could be the Switchblade character or the badass character, in my opinion. Maybe he needs to grow a goatee or a beard or something, but I just can't buy into it. And his tag team partner, Yoshihashi, I honestly can't put any faith in him winning matches. I don't think I've ever seen him win one other than an off match in the G1 tournament just to throw a monkey wrench in the G1, but he's pretty much like the Zack Ryder of New Japan. I can't tell you the last time I remember Zack Ryder winning either. Either way, I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Not as good as the opener, but still okay. Next up, we had also representing Chaos, Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano versus also representing Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. and Minoru Suzuki pick up the win. I thought this was another good match. This got right back on track. It bounced right back. I like the interactions with Suzuki and Ishii. I think that's a feud that could go on for years and no one would ever get tired of it. Zack Sabre Jr. always marvels me with his technical wizardry. And yes, I know it's his nickname. I just thought this was a really good match. I liked it. I like Yano. Yano is kind of an interesting character. You don't know if he's going to be silly or serious or some mix of both. And for this, we had some mix of both. I enjoy Yano and Ishii as a team. I think they're great together. I think they work well together, much like Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. do. I really enjoyed this match. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Again, Suzuki-gun picks up the win. After the match, Suzuki and Ishii get into a fight all the way to the back, so their feud will continue. Whether it involves the other two or not, we don't know. Our next match, and this one's a rarity, a 3-way match in Japan, in New Japan. They don't normally do this. We have Hiroki Goto defending the Never Openweight Championship against Michael Elgin and Tai Chi, who was brought to the ring by one of my favorite parts of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Miho Abe. I love her. She is stunningly beautiful. I feel about her the same way that Corey Graves feels about Mandy Rose. So take that for what you will. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just saying I'm a man. You get it. Anyway, like I said, this is a rarity in Japan. They barely ever do three-way matches. It was interesting. A little bit of a lull at time. You could see where they don't necessarily know how to structure it as well as, say, someone that wrestles in WWE or even Ring of Honor or TNA that does these matches more regularly. Not to say that it was bad, just there were times where it felt like they were trying to figure out what to do. Elgin picks up the win. I thought this was a surprise. I honestly thought, because originally the match was going to be Goto versus Elgin, I thought Tai Chi was going to sneak in and get a win and pick up the championship through sneakiness, I guess you would call it. He's one of the most over heels as a straight up heel in New Japan. And his gimmick's awesome. I like the whole thing with the singing when he comes out. There's a couple times he cheated. He used Miho as a distraction. He used his microphone stand as a weapon. I kind of thought he would steal the win here. And if not, I thought Goto would retain and then we'd have Elgin and Goto later on. But Michael Elgin picking up the win's a big surprise, to me at least. And the thing that really stood out is Michael Elgin's dropped about 40 pounds, and he's every bit as muscular as he's ever been, but now he's more cut and defined. He looks great in my opinion. I think this look's going to work well for him if he can keep it up. And hopefully this is the start of something big for Big Mike. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. I liked it. It was good. Like I said, there were a couple pain points, like growth points, but overall it was a good match. Next up we have for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, Sanada and Evil representing Los Ingobernables de Japón versus the Young Bucks. Now this is only the second time the Young Bucks have wrestled for the Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, the first being against a loss against the Briscoes about 2 years ago. And they went up in weight class. They joined the heavyweight division after being basically the most prolific junior heavyweight tag team of all time in New Japan. This kind of went exactly how I expected it. I like the interaction. I like Nick Jackson selling that he hurt his leg kicking a post on accident. I like the continued selling of Matt and his back that's been bothering him all year. I like that there was questions whether that was going to stop them. And they pull out the win, not with a Meltzer driver, not with a super kick party, but with the more bang for the buck. Their original finisher, the one that kind of initially brought them to the dance, brought them into fame. I'm a huge Young Bucks fan, so I like this a lot. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Up until this point, I thought it was the best match of the night. I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly liked it. I loved it. I'm happy that the Bucks came up with the Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. I think it's well-deserved. I think they're huge stars, and it's about time they're starting to get recognized as such by New Japan. Not that saying that the Junior Tag Championships are at a lesser level, but they kind of feel like they do in a little bit. They change. The Junior Tag Championships seem to change every other month, whereas the Heavyweight Tag Championships, they seem to take a little bit more seriously and put a little bit more prestige on. Now next up, we have what could be considered an all-star match, basically. We have Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Rey Mysterio Jr. teaming up for, it has to be the first time, against Cody, Hangman Adam Page, and the villain Marty Scurll representing Bullet Club. I like this match for what it was. It wasn't the best match on the card. It probably wasn't the bottom half of matches, but it was more of a spectacle on who we have. We've never seen Tanahashi and Liger and Mysterio together. We've never seen Ray versus Page or Marty. We haven't seen a lot of these combinations. I really liked it. I like the fact that Cody picked up the win at the end. I think building Cody back up to being a main star is going to help. I personally would have probably liked better seeing Adam Page pinning Tanahashi. Again, trying to elevate Page into that upper tier. I think he's on the cusp of it, and I think it's about time someone gives him that. Overall, it was a good match. Not the best match on the card, but one of the more entertaining matches, if you follow what I mean. I enjoyed it, even though it technically wasn't as good as some of the rest. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. I thought it was good. I liked it. It was a fun match. Next up, we have for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, champion Will Ospreay defending his title against Hiromu Takahashi. My brain just had a brain fart there. Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi. Takahashi coming off of less than a week ago winning the Best of the Super Juniors. This match I thought was amazing. I liked how they wrestled. It wasn't as good as Takahashi versus now I'm going to brain fart all over the place. Versus Bone Soldier. I'll remember his name at some other time. It wasn't as good as the Best of the Super Junior Finals, but this match was really good. I enjoyed it. It's probably up until this point. Again, I'm going to say this is the best match of the card. I liked it a lot. I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. I thought the interaction between the two was great. I'd love to see these guys go on and be a feud for the next 5-10 years. They're both very young, both very talented, and I just think it was a great match in my opinion. Now next up, we have for the Intercontinental Championship, Naito versus Chris Jericho. Naito representing Los Ingobernables de Japón. This match, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I like Jericho's character in Japan. He's more of a brawler, more of a he almost reminds me of Stan Hansen in a way, in Stan Hansen in Japan, where he's wild and brawling all over the building and making people bleed and throwing people through tables and using chairs and punishing the young boys and beating up the refs. I really enjoyed this match, and Jericho had a weird, almost Eric Draven from The Crow or early Vampiro in Mexico, where he had like some paint on his lip. His lips were painted black, and he had some paint around his eyes. I liked the look for him. I thought it looked cool. I thought it added to the thing. I really enjoyed this match. Jericho controlled it a little bit more than I thought he was going to. I thought it would be more back and forth. However, I enjoyed it. And a little bit of a shock, Jericho picked up the win. I didn't expect Jericho to pick up the Intercontinental Championship. What that obviously tells us is he's going to be there for at least one more match, and maybe several more. Maybe throughout the rest of the year, Jericho wrestles in New Japan. Maybe he defends his title in All In, or when they go to California. Maybe he defends the Intercontinental title on the Jericho Cruise. Who knows? But the chances are endless. The opportunities are endless for what he can do. I really enjoyed this. It was brutal. It was violent. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really good. Again, one of the better matches of the night. As we see, the bottom half of the card as we roll towards the main event, everything is getting better and better and slowly building. And now we get into the main event. The fourth match in the series, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. 2 out of 3 falls for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. We have Omega's won once, Okada's won once, and they had an hour draw for the third match. I could spend a whole hour talking about this match. This and all their other matches is the elite of the elite. And I don't mean no pun by that, but you got the two absolute best wrestlers in the world. Okada picks up the first win with a surprise pin. I like what New Japan does in their 2 out of 3 matches when they have a 2-minute rest period between. So you don't really get an advantage coming off of a win. It goes back to being even. Kenny Omega picks up the next 2 wins, both with the One-Winged Angel. Again, the story it told, it went a little bit over an hour. They were both exhausted by the end, being the 4th in the the 4th in the series. The history that went into this, Kenny Omega finally getting over that hump, becoming a heavyweight champion. The story with it, we had instead of the Young Bucks in his corner, he had his Golden Lovers partner Kota Ibushi to counteract Gato in Okada's corner. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was an amazing match. The match itself, I'm giving probably a 6 out of 5. I'm going to do the Meltzer and break my rating system. But I really love this match. Out of the 4 matches, probably my second favorite. Their second match at the G1 is my favorite. This is my second. Probably closely followed third by the hour draw. But I really, really enjoyed this match. This match was amazing. The aftermath of the match, we seen the Bucks come out. They all embrace the Golden Lovers, the Bucks. And all is right in Kenny's world. We see a little bit of a tease where Cody comes about halfway down the ramp, almost to challenge him for the title, or maybe even say, hey, let's let bygones be bygones, but then Cody decides to change his mind and walks to the back. So let's see where that goes from there. An amazing match, an amazing night. 3 or 4 matches that could easily have carried the show. Ospreay and Takahashi, Naito and Jericho, Omega, Okada, the Bucks versus Sanada and Evil. Just amazing matches. The All-Star match that I called, the 6-man, was great. It was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this, even with it being an almost 5-hour show. I was very tired watching this. We're starting at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I enjoyed it very much. It was worth getting up that early to watch this, to see history, to see Kenny Omega become the 66th IWGP Heavyweight Champion. I'm going to give this match an overall rating, or the whole card an overall 5 out of 5. I highly recommend, if you have New Japan World or you have a means to watching this. I'm sure Access is going to cut some of these matches and put them onto the Access TV show. Not cut, like cut for time. They're going to probably show an hour out of the Omega versus Okada match. They'll probably show Naito versus Jericho, Ospreay versus Takahashi, I'm sorry. The Tanahashi, Liger, and Mysterio versus the Bullet Club's match, Sanada and Evil versus the Bucks. I mean, they're all almost guaranteed to come on the Access show if you can wait till then. Other than that, maybe check YouTube, see if someone gets them up before they get pulled. But I suggest going out and getting New Japan World, because it's roughly $9 a month. It's 999 yen, which always changes in America because the conversion between dollars and yen is not a solid thing. So it's usually right around $9 a month. Sometimes it's a little over, sometimes a little less. But it's definitely worth it, especially if you get a card like this. All that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been a Heel Heat review of Dominion from New Japan Pro Wrestling.